Hi, I'm Robin. I'm 14 years old and I went through a really extreme event that I can't tell anyone about. Not even my friends and definitely not my family. Everyone would think I've gone completely insane. If someone had told me this story a while ago, that's exactly what I would have thought. And nothing could have convinced me otherwise. The thing is, I have an extraterrestrial friend with whom I've spent the most incredible 2 days of my life. He definitely changed me. It happened on a Saturday, a few months ago. I'd been at my friend Tom's house, and it was very late when I started to head home. Suddenly, there was some sort of capsule in front of me. I crouched down, thinking it was a container or a toy, but it was too dark to see. I pocketed it out of curiosity and planned to take a closer look the next morning. Once home, I carelessly placed the capsule on a chair along with my jacket and went to sleep. That night, I had absolutely confusing dreams in which a strange being with a large eye appeared. It had a gelatinous body and some sort of antennae. In the dream, I thought the weird thing with its slimy body was pretty creepy and gross. When my parents left to play tennis on Sunday morning, I was still sitting at the table when I suddenly noticed something in the corner of my eye. Easy, easy, it's all right, I guess I said to myself, and looked at my left shoulder. There it was, looking the same as in my dream. The thing rolled over my arm onto the table and looked at me. Don't panic now, I thought in panic, and calm down, calm down. I'm your friend, I heard inside me, vibrating strangely. It's not me at all, it's you saying that, isn't it? I asked. Again, I heard that vibrating voice inside me saying, yes, you were incredibly quick to realize this for a human. Who are you? I asked out loud. I'm sorry, I heard the voice inside me. I don't mean to be arrogant. Please don't be afraid. No, I'm not. But who are you? What are you doing here? What is this all about? I said, somewhat confused. Would you stop talking? The little thing asked me. I understand you anyway. Your thoughts and speech are getting pretty confusing, which makes it hard for me to understand it all. Unbelievable, I thought. But it was all so completely crazy. I didn't wonder at all. I tried, but believe me, it's hard to control your thoughts. I'm from a galaxy not too far away, but you humans may not know that yet. Anyway, I was here several centuries ago, and now I want to find out how far you have evolved. I am what is called a scientist, or an explorer. I have no name or gender, but call me Ammo. A little reference to amorphous. That suits my form better, I think. Ammo asked me to lead him to our knowledge. He was astonished when I sat him down in front of my laptop. The last time he visited our planet, he said he was at the National Library of France in Paris. And he had been studying us humans for over 2 years. He made me promise not to talk to anyone about him until he left. Then I could decide for myself, but he would advise against it, he said. My head was a big mess, but I decided to go on this adventure. And I was sure, in a deep and strange way, that I could trust Ammo. He stayed on the laptop all day, while I went with my parents to visit my grandparents. Ammo had also stayed on the laptop all night. Then, in the morning, he wanted to go to school with me in my backpack. I asked him what he had discovered tonight, and he told me that, to his understanding, we humans had made a major leap in our development after his last visit. But he found the pervasive aggressiveness, which he said is only a characteristic of primitive species, completely incomprehensible. It is illogical and totally destructive, he said. You are continually destroying everything you've built at great cost. Aggression is never part of a solution. It's always just another problem. The most evolved species otherwise invariably seek collective and creative solutions. I probably won't stay long because humans as a whole are not at a point where I can recommend contact with you to my planet's society. I was speechless, but we had already reached my class as well. Tom asked me if I wasn't awake yet. I mumbled something unintelligible, and he explained that there was a math test coming up. And suddenly I remembered that my parents had still asked about it at dinner. I silently asked Amo to be quiet now, to which he commented with, "All right, I'm busy." Barely 2 minutes later, the test began, and fortunately, I was able to glance at Tom's paper from time to time. The rest of the school day passed quickly, and what I wanted most was to get away to continue talking with Amo. Tom asked me if we were going to do anything later, but I just said, "Not today, I have something to do," and ran off in another direction. When I asked Amo what he had done at school, he said, "I found that you guys think very negatively. You are hardly attentive or kind. For example, your friend Tom got mad at you for copying him without asking. And you got mad at him for not taking his arm off the table to let you see his work better. But in reality, he was disappointed that you hadn't answered him yesterday and that you were so weird this morning. In fact, you barely noticed him at all. The same was true of the others in his class, and his teachers as well. Very unfortunate." I had to think about it for a while. When I got home, luckily no one was around, and I was finally able to ask Amo about his world. He began to tell me, every night we form protective nets with our bodies over our energy sources until it is daylight again, so that they do not freeze. The cold does not harm ourselves, but without the sources we would have to leave. Long ago, we struggled with this task, argued, and often did not get it right. Many of us suffered for it. At some point in our evolution, we understood that we could also use this task and learn to make the most of it. Today, we love these nights more than anything. We resonate together and become one mind and one body. Similar to how a sponge works on Earth. For hours, I listened to him attentively. When I heard my parents coming home, I quickly took Amo to my room to get the laptop. I told them that after dinner I was going to go to Tom's house, do something for school and stuff. Amo was already leaving that night, and I wanted to spend time with him and still had a tremendous amount of questions. So after dinner I packed my backpack with Amo and the capsule and went to the park. I asked him what I could do and if he would be back. "Yes," he said. "In about 200 years, I'll stop by again. Maybe I'll run into one of your descendants. That would be nice." You ask what you can do to solve your problems. Be just a person who is as good as he can be with all his might, no more, no less. Control your thoughts, and action will come automatically. Believe me, it's a big undertaking, and you'll have your hands full trying to carry it out. We talked about a lot of other things. But around midnight, he said goodbye, got into his capsule, and flew away. I thought about telling Tom that about Amo for a while, but decided against it. I thought a lot about honesty and what and how I would like to be and become. I talked to him about it and asked him about his ideas. At first, he thought it was strange and that I had changed. But after a while, he told me, "You used to be inconsiderate and more interested in yourself. Still, you've been my best friend since the first grade. But lately, I think you're really good." We had to laugh. I wish I could meet Amo again because I still have so many questions. In any case, it was the most exciting 2 days of my life, and I will never forget them. Thank you for watching and listening to my story. You can find other exciting stories on this channel.
Hello guys, I'm Irene. I'm going to tell you a story about my sister Bethany and our dad. I watched it all happen from the beginning. I tried to intervene, but it didn't help because my dad wouldn't listen. Like every good father, our dad does everything he can to provide us with the best of everything. Unfortunately, he's very unlucky when it comes to business. He's a waiter, and I know that he is really good at his job. But for some reason, he can never stay in the same restaurant for more than 1 year. Recently, he was working at an Italian restaurant, and he was on good terms with his boss. But when he saw that another waiter was being treated unfairly, he quit his job. On such days, he comes home with flowers. When my mom saw the flowers, she knew right away that he had quit. Next morning, as we were going off to school, Dad was looking for an online job. We all knew that he'd find a new job pretty quickly because he always did. Sometimes we get back from school and he would already be working at another restaurant. This time, we were faced with an unexpected offer. Dad was super excited when we got back from school. He sat us down. Girls, it's time for us to work for ourselves. We're going to start a family business. I don't have to work for other people anymore. I have a great idea. But I'll need you to help me with it, he said. Then he looked at my sister. Especially you, Bethany, he said, smiling. Dad's great idea was starting a YouTube channel for my sister. Apparently, he came across some news online. It was about child YouTubers who made the most money this year. He was shocked when he saw that they made millions of dollars. He was on YouTube all day, going through child YouTubers' channels and watching their videos. He got really excited when he saw that they were pretty simple videos, mostly of kids playing games. After telling us all this, he said, "My daughter is so much prettier than all the other kids I saw. We could be one of the channels on that list next year," he said. Apparently, he told it all to our mom during the day. She got into it too when she heard how much money they were making. Bethany can do it as long as it doesn't disrupt her schoolwork. Some videos feature moms as well. I can help out if you want, she said to him. It looked like they had already made up their minds. Bethany couldn't really say anything. Would I be able to do it though, she asked, but I knew she liked the idea. The mood at home was really good. Videos with pools are very popular. We'll move to a new house with a large pool next year, he said and started dreaming. The next day was Saturday. Dad took us to the aquarium. Bethany knew the place well because we had been there before with our parents and also once on a school trip. Dad was shooting a video, so she pretended like it was her first time. She was running around, looking at all the fish and acting really excited. Dad was in such a good mood. He recorded everything Bethany did in the aquarium. When we got home, Dad wanted to edit the videos right away. But he had no idea how to do it. He borrowed my laptop. He spent the whole evening trying to figure out a video editing program. He was asking me questions, but I couldn't help him, since I also didn't know anything about it. The funniest part was seeing my dad still working on it the next morning when we woke up. When he finally finished it, he proudly showed it to us. Honestly, it was a regular family video. At the same time, it was just like the other kids' videos on YouTube, which had millions of views. Dad's video was as ordinary as those videos. He made a YouTube channel under my sister's name and uploaded the video. He was so excited, as if the whole country had been waiting to see it. He bet my mom on the number of views it would get. Dad said it would get 5,000 or 6,000, but Mom thought it wouldn't get more than 1,000. The whole day he couldn't sit still and was pacing around. I checked the video in the evening. It only had 14 views. Yes, 14. I'm pretty sure it was just my dad watching it over and over. And maybe Bethany watched it 3 or 4 times. Next week, they made a new video every day. Dad was adding more videos to the thousands that were already on YouTube. One day, my sister and Mom played a game together. Then they did a colors video using fruits and vegetables. In another video, Bethany unpacked new toys and introduced them. Dad got over the disappointment of the first video. He would shoot a new video, edit it in the evening, and upload it the next morning. But despite his efforts, the results were the same. Nobody was watching the videos. One day, Dad came home with a bunch of boxes. He had bought professional video equipment. My parents didn't have any money saved, so he had to sell his car to buy them. Mom wasn't happy about this at all. Our family had no money coming in now that Dad was out of work. Spending all this extra money wasn't right. For the next month, he used the new camera and lights for the videos. Even though the visual quality was better, the content was the same. The most watched video in the channel didn't even have 100 views. The worst part was that Bethany was bored now. When Dad called her over to shoot, she'd make up excuses. She didn't look happy in the videos. Dad was in much worse shape than her. He felt responsible for the failure. He didn't have a job, but had expenses to pay. When Bethany didn't really feel like performing, he'd lose his patience with her. We no longer recognized him. He would scream at Bethany, forcing her to act for the camera. There was no peace at home. My parents started fighting a lot. Bethany got too scared to complain, but she looked like a robot in front of the camera. When I watched the videos, I felt really bad for her. It was weird that my dad actually liked the videos. According to him, the problem was the lack of promotion. So he invested the rest of his money on promoting the channel. Views increased a little, but when the ads stopped, they went back down to what they used to be. His final move was to put himself in front of the camera. He thought he had come up with an amazing idea. He put on a caveman costume. Bethany chased after him with a bunch of toy dinosaurs. Since my dad was a caveman, he was running scared from the dinosaurs. He waited a while after uploading this ridiculous video to the channel. The views weren't going up, so he borrowed money from a friend to promote the channel again. I couldn't watch that dinosaur video for more than a few minutes. It hurt to see my dad like that. He looked so desperate. The next day, Bethany came up to me at school crying. One of her classmates had seen the dinosaur video, thanks to the promotion, and showed it to everyone. They started mocking Dad and making fun of Bethany. She got angry and pushed a girl so hard that she fell. The teacher got really angry with her. "If you do that again, I'll send you to the principal," she said. When she told my mom about it, she got angry too. She and Dad had one of the worst fights I'd seen. Mom was screaming, "This YouTube thing is over. There will be no more video shoots in this house," she kept saying. "I need to get a return on my investment. Will all this money and effort go to waste?" he kept asking. Once he realized that Mom wasn't backing down, and she was right, he stopped yelling. After a while, he started apologizing. Dad wasn't a bad person. He had done the best he could, but things just didn't work out. He lost control when he couldn't find a way out. He came and talked to us once more. "Girls, I'm so ashamed of myself. I couldn't see what I had been doing. Bethany, I'm especially sorry for how I treated you. I understand if you can't forgive me," he said. He was about to cry. He left the house before we could say anything and didn't come back that night. He messaged Mom in the morning. She was really sad when she showed us the message. "Sweetie, I'm okay. I decided I'm not coming home until I find a good job. Don't worry about me. I love you all very much. I'm sorry for everything," said the message. Dad wasn't around the next day or the day after that. He was texting though. "Honey, I'm still looking for a job. I can't come home without a good job after all this. Kiss the girls and tell them I love them." The doorbell rang early the next morning. It was Dad. We were so happy. He turned to my sister. "Thank you for the video. None of this is your fault. I was the one forcing you. If anyone's guilty, it's me," he said, hugging her. He added, "I wish you turned the lights on, though. Your pretty face would have looked better." Mom and I were confused. Turns out, Bethany shot a video when we were sleeping. In it, she said that she loved Dad a lot, and all of this was her fault, asking him to come back home. Then she uploaded it to the channel. Dad's phone got a notification that said, "A new video has been uploaded to Bethany's channel." Surprised, he clicked on it right away. He got really emotional, but had to wait until the morning since it was already late. Dad found a new job a few weeks later. He says that his experience with YouTube and his video skills helped him land the job. The employer asked him why Dad stopped working. That's when he told him about the YouTube adventure. The employer had been wanting to make a YouTube channel featuring him cooking his mom's recipes. They decided to work on the shoots together. He's going to pay Dad extra for them. Dad wasn't looking forward to it since he was going to be reminded of our miserable days, but he was happy that he was going to make back his money. That's it from me. What do you think about child YouTubers? Tell me in the comments. If you want to keep up with stories like mine, subscribe to the channel. Bye!